Hey guys, stick around. We're gonna get started here in just a few minutes time. Give me 1 second here. I think I screwed up something here. So give me 1 second. There we go. Now we're good. For some reason, my output was outputting over to the to my speakers for whatever reason. My routing was screwed up. Anyways, stick around. We're gonna get started here in just a few minutes. Welcome to a brand new stream series I'm starting up here on the YouTube channel called The Verdict. I'll explain more about what's going on with this stream series right after the intro. So stick around. Enjoy the music in the meantime. Alrighty guys, I hate to interrupt this nice build-up of this track here, but we have got to get started here. So what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new stream series I'm starting here on the channel called The Verdict. So, what is The Verdict? Well, this is going to be a little game review stream series. So effectively, any game that I've played for 50 to 100 hours or more, I'm going to review. And as of right now, I have just surpassed 100 hours in Train Sim World 5. So, because I've been playing this game a lot since I got it back on May 9th, which is 2.5 months ago at this point, it's only fair this is the first game to stream and to showcase on The Verdict. So, basics of The Verdict. It's going to be going over a lot of the basic stuff about the game here, with regards to what you can expect with this game. What are the highs, what are the lows, the good, the bad, all that kind of fun stuff. I've already published a Steam review for this game, like I had said. So if I go to the store page for this, I can find... Where's my store page? Can I not get to the store page from here? Okay, no. So, if I were to go to Train Sim World 5, go to the store page, and then bring up this, you guys can see I've already posted the game. I can view my review, and here we go. So this is the review that I put out here. 100 hours in, here's the good and bad of Train Sim World 5, and then I talk about the good, the bad, and overall. So I think I did one other review. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I wrote a review for Stray. And I do need to get back into Stray as well. That's a game I need to play through as well. But yeah, Stray is another great game. But yeah, Train Sim World 5, I did it when I played the game. I did the review when I had exactly 100 hours on record. I have 120 products here. Perfect games. What are those? This is where you'll find your perfect games, or games where you've earned all possible achievements. And what games is... Oh, I'm following American Truck Sim, Euro Truck Sim 2, Truck World, Australia. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Did that game end up coming out? I'm getting distracted. I'm getting distracted now. But I just want to look and see. Oh yeah, it did end up coming out, and people are saying it was mostly negative. But anyways, but that's beside the point of what we're doing here today. So, what is Train Sim World 5? The basics, Train Sim World 5 is effectively a train sim game. If you guys remember Trains with a Z, I believe it's by the same guys. But Train Sim World 5, as you guys can see in the lower left, I do have the special edition of the game. And there's a good reason why I got it. Right now, on the game, if you guys are interested in picking up this game after checking out my review of it, I will go back to the library and I will show you guys on the store page. There is currently an 80% off discount for the game. I'm going to say this right here at the start, just in case you guys are curious. If you want to get this game and you haven't played any of the previous Train Sim World games, get the special edition, because the special edition comes with quite a few trains and lines. So it's a good way to get started, and for $24, it's a no-brainer. For $24, it's an absolute no-brainer. There's no reason not to get a fantastic game like Train Sim World 5 like this. A lot of people are saying it's mostly positive, very positive, but people, if you look in the reviews, some people are going to say that when you get the special edition, you don't get the extra add-ons, but I had the exact opposite experience. I got that as well. People are saying it's a cash grab. Again, I think it's the opposite. It's not a cash grab if you get the special edition. If you get the special edition of the game, you're going to start with quite a few routes, especially if you have routes from other games as well. If you have routes that you got from the previous versions of the game, those will be automatically added to Train Sim World 5 at no extra charge. You don't need to rebuy the routes that you already have on Train Sim World from the previous Train Sim World games. All of those, like here, if I go to trains and I go to my routes, these are all the routes that I have. I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 23 different routes. Minus the training center. The training center is always included on the training center is always included for the game itself. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to mess with my microphone setup here. Give me a second, guys. I'm working on it. Don't worry. Why is this? Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, we are back. Sorry about that. Needed to adjust something about my microphone setup here. I adjusted the microphone here because whenever I'm looking away from my monitors, or moving away, looking at one of my side screens, I can't actually see what's going on with the stream or anything like that too. But yeah, Train Sim World 5, like I said, you know, I might go back to the other way I had it set up, to be honest. Yeah, sorry, I did not know how I was going to want to set this up, but this works perfectly. So yeah, hey, what up, King Ducks? How you doing? So yeah, this game, if you guys are interested, definitely get the special edition of this game. You get a bunch of routes. Not all the routes that I have come with the special edition. So keep that in mind. Everything that you see on this stream is what I've collected over from the previous games and from the special edition of Train Sim World 5. So keep that in mind while I'm showing here. So the way I play in these episodes of The Verdict they're going to be about an hour long each, showcasing some of the best parts of these routes. So and showcasing like the gameplay of these, and we're gonna talk about the things that I have liked and things I don't really like about the game. So with that said, what do you say we do a Boston Sprinter route? That was the last one that I was doing here, and we'll do one of the New York routes because I was actually working on one of the New York ones. Let's do Amtrak Northeast Regional 93 Boston to Providence. That's a good one to do for this stream. Now, obviously, I am going to be streaming Train Sim World 5 quite frequently over here on the channel as well. So we'll do this one, and we'll do it legitly. We'll use the access system. We'll turn on the safety systems. We'll use the access systems while we're loading up here. All right. Okay. You. All right. So we got that. Let's go ahead and put the reverser key in. We'll get forward. We'll set that to passenger. And then let's go activate that. Activate that. Are you going to get back into ATS or your truck? Yeah, I'm planning on that. That's probably going to be my next that's probably going to be the next game I'm going to review here on here in this series. That's probably going to be the first game or the second game I'm going to review, American Truck Sim and Euro Truck Sim 2 as part of this new game review series. I want to review a lot of the games that I've played for quite a while, and ones that I want to, and like just really ones that I've personally enjoyed over the course of the last little while, and over the course of my time in gaming as well. So I want to really get you guys involved on with regards to this. Why are we not generating power? Did I forget to do something? Oh wait, no. Now we're generating power. So yeah, basic controls for this. Obviously for this game, basic controls. A and D are your throttle. W and S control the reverser on the trains as well. On trains that have the AFB cruise control system, that uses R and F to raise and lower it. Control R is to activate the AFB, and on trains where you have to confirm the speed that you selected, it's Control F to select that speed as well. And then your automatic brakes are your colon and the two lines. I can't remember what the quotation marks as well. And then the other brakes are your brackets, and then for trains that have it, the period and comma as well. Those are the most common controls you're going to use. Everything else, depending on the train, you will be able to access from inside the cab. It's just mostly the trains that don't have a lot of those common features. You will need to go into the keybinds for it. While all the controls I've just mentioned are very common, are the most common controls that you're going to be using in this game, and are kind of important as well in general. So while we're getting up to speed here, let's talk about some of the good things about this game. A majority of the stuff I'm talking about in this stream are going to be good things. Yeah, a majority of the things I'm going to be talking about, and in fact, actually, this is not the route that I wanted to do. I just realized something. That is not the route that I wanted to do while we were talking about this as well. So let's go to the trains, and let's go to that. Yeah, here we go. Here's the routes that I wanted to do. Boston South Station to Providence. Yeah, we'll do that one. That one will get us going here. So, basics of this game. What are the good things about Train Sim World 5? Well, obviously, Train Sim World 5 is right after a lot of the other Train Sim World games as well. It's the 5th game in the franchise. In fact, the 6th game was just the 5th game was just announced to be getting ready to be released. It's in development, so we're looking forward to that. In fact, actually, is this? Hold on. What? That's not the route that I wanted to do. Why is it starting me there? I want to start from the other end. Yeah, New York, Trenton. Oh, I'm clicking the Boston Sprinter instead of the New York. That's what's going on here. I see what I was doing. All right, let's do... We'll do that one. That one's fine. I didn't know I was clicking the Boston commuter line instead of the New York one. Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's fine. So, yeah. Basic things to know about this game. This is the 5th iteration of the game. Passenger. Dim. Put minimum application brakes on. And while we're loading up passengers, we're going to turn on those to get the full experience for you guys. But yeah, basic things to know about this game. This game, normally for the special edition of this game, it retails for, normally for this version of the game, the special edition, it normally retails on Steam for $120. Right now on Steam, it's $24. If you guys want to pick up that game, this game, it is $24 currently on Steam. I went over the basic controls here while I was trying to figure out why the route wasn't the same one that I was going for. So, yeah, overall, this is a very fun game. The trains are highly detailed. Look at this. I'm running at 150% screen resolution. So, internally, this game is rendering at 1440p, and it's downscaling it to 1080p, and we're still running great. One of the things I do want to talk about here in this first episode of The Verdict about Train Sim World 5 is the performance here, and that's going to be a major talking point throughout the route that we're doing here. We're going to do this route on the broadcast, and then we're going to wrap up. So basically, this route, a lot of the routes in Train Sim World 5 are very good when it comes to performance. There are some, like the Flix Train routes, those green Flix Train routes with the Vectron. Those are not the best trains. That one's not the best for performance. Personally, on my system, I've been getting frame drops there. And then, but for some other routes, it's perfectly fine. A lot of the routes are perfectly fine, like this one. Everything runs nice and smooth. Everything's nice and smooth. It just works. Everything works. All right. Let's release our brakes. Let's get ourselves a little bit of throttle here. But yeah, overall, the performance on this game is great as well. Now, not everyone is going to have the same kind of performance that I'm getting in this game. I'm getting the performance that I'm getting because I have a relatively high-end computer. I have a relatively high-end computer for these types of games. I don't have like a top-of-the-line RTX 5090 computer with the best AMD CPU out there. Like, if I had that, then if I had the best top-of-the-line CPU, then I would probably be, and if I had the upload speed, I would probably start streaming all my games in 4K, or playing all my games in 4K and streaming in 4K for you guys as well. If I had the internet speed for all of it. But yeah, the game performance is really good here. Like I said, on most routes, I don't have too many issues with performance. The only time I really have performance issues is on some like the Flix Train routes, and there are a select few other routes, but pretty much 90% of the routes that I currently have in this game are working fine. Some of the other issues that I have been running into in this game as well have been some of the other issues I've been running into with this particular game has been some of the routes, some of the timetables on the routes. Sometimes they won't load on some of them. Some of them they just won't load, and they just throw me. They won't load the actual train, so they throw me into essentially a sandbox version of the route, the timetable I was going to do, because it doesn't spawn the train in. Now, I don't know if that's something to do with missing route DLC or oh my god, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know if that's something to do with missing route DLC or if that's just something for, or if that's just something that's an issue with the game itself. It's really hard to tell which ones are what's like an actual bug and what's a like a full-on, just full fine like an intentional feature. But most of the timetables on most of the routes, those do work. Everything works just fine, and everything just works. I like it. This game works really good. Nice and smooth. Everything just works. I haven't really run into any issues with this game outside of that, and outside of the outside of the what's it called? And outside of like the actual performance issues there, everything has been running smoothly with the game. So, moving on from that, what kind of content is there? Well, as you guys can see, we have a lot of routes and we have a lot of trains to play with. Like I said, a lot of those routes, like I would say probably half of those routes that you saw that were listed there when we were looking for a route to do, a lot of those routes were actually half of those routes were routes that I had gotten from previous versions of the game. One of the big things about the Train Sim World games is if you buy DLC for a previous version, or while you had a previous version of the game, it's like, say for example, you had Train Sim World 4, you got one of the routes from Train Sim World 4. When you get Train Sim World 5, the game will detect those routes that you got for Train Sim World 4 and make them available in Train Sim World 5. Effectively what it's doing is transferring all of the routes that you got in previous versions of Train Sim World into the new version, so you can still play those like usual. Now, personally for me, I am not planning on getting any of the I'm not planning on doing, I might do the free upgraded Train Sim World 6, but I'll stick to Train Sim World 5 simply because of the fact that there's already a lot of content that I have in this game. I don't feel the need to upgrade unless there's like some new United States routes that are only available with Train Sim World 6. But overall, I think this game is a fantastic game, and I really do enjoy it. And there's just a lot of good things. Now let me pull up, I'm going to pause real quick because I'm going to pull up my Steam review. And I'm going to talk about a couple of the other things that, yeah, where's my review? View my review. There we go. So, what I had listed on my Steam review, the good. Lots of routes, ranging from American cargo transport to high-speed inner-city bullet trains. And some of these high-speed inter-station routes here in the United States with the ACS 64. Other things, I just mentioned this, routes from older Train Sim Worlds get transferred to Train Sim World 5. So like I said, if you have routes from other Train Sim World games that you want to transfer over to the game when you first launch Train Sim World 5 or 6 in this case when 6 comes out, all your routes from previous games will automatically get transferred over to that new version of the game. So you do not have to worry about rebuying routes that you already have if you've purchased them previously for a previous version of the game. They will get transferred over. Game performance for the most part is good, minus a few routes here and there. We've already discussed that as well. The other thing here, you guys have seen it on my streams when I first started streaming this game. If you don't want to do a lot of the same timetables and you want more of a challenge there are optional guided journeys with predetermined tasks. You guys saw this on when I first started getting this game. We were going through the guided journeys at first before I remembered that the timetables mode was a feature in this game. So basically what that means is that's good when you want a more challenging scenario as well. If you're bored of just the regular ones and you want some sort of like challenging things, like maybe there's like a scenario where you want to be in like the thick of winter, where you want the challenge of driving your train in winter. There are scenarios for those. And then on top of that, I'm gonna add on to it as well. If you want to change the weather for those games, or for the if you want to change the weather for the route that you're doing, you can always go in and before you start doing the routes and have the game load the route that you're doing, you can go in and you can tell the game to change the weather to a specific kind of weather that you want, effectively. So if I wanted to do this route in the middle of winter in like a snowstorm, I could go into the game and set it up like that as well. And that's good that you have the option to do that, because the game will automatically pick up on the date that's in the game that your computer is set to. So if you want to play on a different date in a different kind of weather situation, you can always go in and change that as well. So if you want a more challenging variant of this route, you can always do that. What is going on with the ACS system? Why is it breaking? Traction blocked. Why is it blocked? You know what? I'm turning that crap off. I'm turning that crap off. That's just... I wanted to do it legitly, but it bugged the hell out for a second. So I don't know why it bugged out like that, but yeah. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. So yeah, you can always set things up in the winter. If you wanted to go do that, you could always do that in the winter. And basically go from there. Also, one of the other benefits of this game, frequent store sales. So if you're wanting to get some more routes, which I was contemplating on getting some more routes for this game before I decided against it, because I already have a lot of routes that I can go through and do, and there's quite a few of them I haven't actually tried out yet as well. Even if there are routes that you want to get from the store, if you're like me and you've played a couple other games, I would go through the routes that you've already have first before thinking about trying out some of the newer ones. However, with that said, frequent Steam store discounts. That means, like I said at the start of this broadcast, those Steam store discounts are very frequent. In fact, the game has been on sale for like a month now, I think. Yeah, this game has been on sale for like a month now. So you've been able to get quite a bit of routes and stuff for the price for the game as well. It's like right now I only spent $30 to get the special edition of this game, and it's just been smooth sailing ever since. I haven't felt the need to get any routes, but if I do want to get routes, because the game goes on sale frequently and a lot of the routes go on sale frequently as well, I have the option to use some of my money and get more routes if I wanted to. So it's great. I really like it. I'm very much enjoying this game. Now, among a lot of the routes there are like a lot of international routes. So it's not just American routes. There's a bunch of routes from international stuff using like international trains. There's like UK lines. There's a couple other there's some Falda routes. There's a lot of great routes on this game that you can get even if you don't have even if you have the special edition. There are some pretty good routes that you can get through the Steam store as well. But if you're going to get some, I would recommend waiting for a Steam sale for those, because some of those routes are expensive as hell. I've seen a couple routes go for upwards of $45, more than the entire price of the game that I got it for. So if you guys want to pick up this game and a couple of routes to go with it, wait for it to go on sale, because there are quite a few routes that go on sale as well for really good discounts as well. So yeah, so now moving on to some of the bad of this game. There's not really much to say in terms of the bad on this game, but I do want to mention it because the verdict, I'm giving you guys my honest thoughts about this game, and I'm going off of my Steam review for this. So, the bad. Some timetables do not load properly and throw you into a sandbox world on the route, presumably due to missing DLC. I have had that happen before, and I believe one of my previous live streams here on YouTube has actually caught that, where I loaded up a route, it doesn't load the train, it throws me into a sandbox, a variant of the timetable that I was going to do. So I don't know if that's something to do with maybe missing DLC, like maybe like a missing route or a missing train, or if that's just a bug with that specific route. I'm thinking it's more of a bug with that specific route, because other timetables do load properly on those routes. Some timetables don't load, but some of them do. So I don't know if that's something that Dovetail Games is going to work on fixing, but it's fine either way. It's definitely fine either way. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. If I run into one of those, I usually just back out to the main menu and find a different game, or not a different game, but like a different route or timetable that's on that same route to play as well. So some routes have performance issues. Recent game updates have improved most, but not all route performance. So basically, I mentioned that earlier. Some routes, like the one with the Flix train, the green Flix train, that DB Vectron in the green Flix train livery, that route does have some performance issues, but among like one or two others, but for the most part, all of them have been running just fine. I'm getting a solid 60 FPS right now while doing this route as well. So a majority of these routes, I would say like 95% of the routes are working perfectly fine. All right. I just realized I need to slow down heavily. All right. Oh wait, I should probably continue braking because I gotta get down to 95 miles an hour. There we go, perfect. There we go. So yeah, but yeah, so the performance on this game, for the most part, I would say it's really good. For the most part, the performance is excellent on this game. And even with the settings that I'm running on this game, everything is running fine with it. The only major issue that I have found with the performance outside of the routes is on the diesel trains. Unfortunately, there's no particle setting that I can adjust. Yeah, there's no particle setting that I can adjust on the in the game settings. And the reason why I say that is the diesel trains, the particles that come out from the roof, whenever you're looking like right at that and the game renders those, like fully renders those, the game does have a lot of issues. It kind of lags out a little bit. I do get a bunch of frame drops. When looking at those, it drops down to about, I would say, like 40, 45 frames a second. It's not that bad, but I would have preferred them to have an option in settings to turn down those. I would prefer if they had what's it called? A option to turn off those particles, because that would really help with performance. But other than that, the performance is really good. I mean, yeah, there's some lag spikes here and there. And before, there was actually an update last month that there was actually a couple updates that Dovetail Games pushed last month that did improve performance a little bit. But before those updates, I was having a lot of stuttering issues, and I ended up having to install an INI fix mod that basically allowed the game to run a little bit smoother. So I'm not too worried about that, though. The game performance is running fine. Like I said, on most routes, the game performance runs really well. I don't have issues with it. I don't have any issues with those games, with a lot of the routes on here as well. And another thing here is, another thing I kind of dislike about this game, some trains are difficult to operate than others. So like, especially the older trains that have lots of controls, and especially those steam trains. I think that's just me being nitpicky about the game. I know there are training modules that I could run to learn how to operate those trains, but there are some trains that require so much to get moving. Like with this one, when we started this, you guys saw what all I had to do here. Everything was pretty much all set up here for me. So all I had to do was just put the reverser key in, and then give it some throttle essentially after removing the brake. Everything else is fine. Some trains are a little bit more involved, where you have to set the brake mode to like passenger if I'm doing a passenger route, or if I'm doing some cargo routes. Sometimes I got to do some extra steps to get the train ready to transport to be moving with the cargo. But for the most part, the way I have the game set up is really the trains are easier to operate, and this is how I like playing the game. Like I've said with other games, a lot of games people have their ways of playing it, and the way I like playing it is to have the trains pretty much ready, so that way I have to do minimal setup to get the train up and running, so that way I can go drive, so that way I can just get right to the route and just start driving. And I don't have to worry about getting behind schedule too much or anything like that. But yeah, overall, me being nitpicky about the trains is just, it's mostly me being nitpicky about how these trains operate and all of that. That's just mostly a nitpick. For the most part, I have nothing but good things to say about this game. It's a fantastic game, nice calm game, fully offline. So if you're tired of playing like the online games and having people ruin those online games, then yeah, you're more than welcome to get something like this, and you can get going on it as well. I gotta check something here real quick. I know I'm getting distracted during the series, and I'm trying to keep the series as distraction-free as possible, but I gotta check up on things. But yeah, it's just this, a lot of big names as well on this lineup for this festival I'm going. All right. Anyways, let me tab back into. Actually, I'm gonna reply back to that person. There we go. I'm gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this route, and I'll finish this thing. But yeah, basically, me being nitpicky about the trains. I mean, for some people, it's not. For me, it's not much of a deal breaker, but for some, it's definitely going to be a deal breaker. But other good things about the game, the guided journeys. Like I said, if you don't want to play on. Ooh, we gotta slow down a ton here. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna start slowing hard here. But yeah, some of the other good things that I like about this, a lot of the buttons in the cabin that are like modeled and stuff, a lot of them actually serve a purpose, and that you can actually push them as well. So like if you wanted to get the full train experience, like if you're driving a train in the middle of winter, and you want to have the windshield wipers on or the heater on or something like that, so you're not freezing in the cab. That is something that you can do. Now it looks like we're going to get to the station a little bit ahead of time. That gives me time to go over some other stuff in that is not related to train sim here as well. There we go. Perfect. 80 miles an hour. But yeah, a lot of the buttons that you see here, like if I wanted to, I could open up that door. I'm not going to, given the speed that we're going at. I'm not going to open my door doing 80 miles an hour. You can even do things like turning on the cab light, your desk and console light. So if you're doing a late night route, you can do that too. You can adjust your headlights. Your wiper controls on this train are within view as well. There's even a snow brake. So I don't know what the snow brake does. I would assume, given the name, that if you needed to slow down in the snow, that would help you slow down in snowy conditions. So yeah, it's just this is a really fun game. It's a nice, calm, relaxing game. And something I do want to announce here as part of this here, I'm taking a little bit of a break from Riverside Roleplay, as well, and we're probably going to do some streams over on SAD-RP as well. So, but I don't know yet. For now, let's just enjoy Train Sim World. And at the end of the stream, I will give my thoughts on this game, whether or not I recommend this game for those who are really interested in those who have played simulators as well. But I think you can tell just based off of the way I'm talking about it what my stance is going to be for this game. But there's only one way for you guys to find out. Stick around. We will wrap up here after we finish this route here. So, on the next episode of The Verdict, I figured, well, let's keep the good vibes rolling here with some fantastic games. And the next game I'm going to feature on this new series, The Verdict, we're going to be heading over to American Truck Sim for the next game as part of the series, because that's a game I've played quite a bit of, and I want to give my full thoughts on with that game as well. I want to showcase to you guys the customization of all the trucks. I want to show you guys what all you can do with the game and all that. It'll be like a normal stream, but it's going to be me talking about the game and whether or not I recommend it. Which, spoiler alert, if you guys just want to know now, American Truck Sim, Euro Truck Sim 2, definitely recommend. Those games go on sale pretty frequently as well. So if you guys are interested in those games, they are very similar to Train Sim World 5. You can go check those out on Steam. Those regularly go on sale, actually. So yeah, this game is really fun. Like I said, it's nice calm vibes. In fact, I don't care if we're going slow. In fact, I slowed down way too early, actually. Yeah, I slowed down way too early. Here, we'll go up to 60 miles an hour. Because let me see, is this the only stop we have on here? Oh no, we still have a little bit more to go. But yeah, overall, this is a really fun game. Along with this, one thing I didn't touch on in my Steam review was, I kind of touched on it, but I want to go into a little more detail here. The graphics. Man, the graphics in this game are so good. Yeah, the graphics in this game are fantastic. I really like it. The trains are highly detailed, and the game looks so good, even running at 1440p. Even with the game running at 1440p downscaled to 1080p, everything still looks nice and sharp. I can read everything on the screens that are in front of me. It just works great. All right. All right. Let me get my brakes. I'm doing heavy braking here because I want to make sure I can actually get stopped in time. Now, obviously, if you're trying to be fully realistic with how train drivers drive trains, you're not going to be playing this game the same way I do. This is how I enjoy playing this game. And like I said earlier, everybody has their own way of playing their games as well. So I'm not trying to use this review of this game to basically force you guys to play the game in the same way I play. There are plenty of settings that we'll go over a little bit later on before we wrap up, where you can really improve and set up the game the way you want to. So like, if you don't want to have the heads-up display, you can use that. All right, so we're going to be waiting here a while, and this gives me time to fill out my list of things. So let me look up the Discord hyperlink stuff. So give me 1 second while I'm doing this. In fact, actually, I'm going to remove those spaces. Actually, I think I need to put the spaces there for it to show up properly. So, actually, is that how Discord wants me to do it? That you got to do a space? Oh yeah, by a space at the beginning of each line. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So give me one. So yeah. So while we're waiting here, I'm just filling out my list of names for this. No, maybe I'll remove. I'm not gonna do that. Who else? Ooh. All right. Who else? Who else on there? There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11 acts out of this whole lineup that I want to see there as well. There we go. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. I have plenty of time to do that, actually. We still have to wait another 3 minutes. You know what? While I'm here, I'm gonna... Let me see. Is my phone still connected to my PC? Okay, yes, it is. Perfect. Can I just drag this over? Oh, wait, no. Wait. Let me save this image real quick. And I'm going to send this to... Browse this PC. Here we go. There. I'm letting my dad know that this lineup came out. So yeah, this is a good opportunity for me to get this. There we go. I just sent it to my dad. Let me make sure it actually sent. Yep. There we go. All right. So yeah, this game is really good, really fun. There's a lot to do, especially if you've played some of the previous versions and you have all your route content transferred over. There's really not much else to say about this game. We'll just finish this route and then we'll get on out of here. We'll wrap up. I'll put minimum application brakes on. All right. Let's release the brakes. Yeah, here we go. It thinks we're gonna need, what is that, like 17 minutes to get over there? But no, we're not gonna need 17 minutes. We'll be done with this pretty quick. So yeah, basically the way, so we'll talk about how this series is going to be going for something. So for games like Train Sim World and any like driving games and stuff, my plan is to do a delivery or a route or just do one segment, play one segment of the game. Yeah, hold on a minute. Hold on a second. There we go. I just had to reply back to my dad. He said the lineup that I sent him was pretty good too, so he wanted to know my opinion. Yeah, they did a good job on it. If I do a stream tomorrow that's not one of these, I'll talk about the lineup tomorrow. Because right now, this is not what the series is for. So yeah, so the verdict. Basically, like I said, I'll play a segment of a game, probably for the American Truck Sim episode that will probably air tomorrow or Thursday. For the American Truck episode, I'll probably do like 1 or 2 short jobs. Or 1 long job and 1 short job. To show you guys how good that game is, and we'll showcase some of the other stuff on it as well. But for now, I'll figure that out once I get there. What's going on there? Oh, my brakes were released. My brakes needed to be released. But yeah, it's just, this series is supposed to be... So yeah, that's just, this game is, whoa. This game is just really fun. But yeah, this series will mostly cover games that I've played for at least 50 hours, 50 to 100 hours of, because it's not worth doing a review for a game that I've only played like, for like maybe 10 hours or something. Because, I mean, yes, there are games that are really good games that are 10 hours, but for me, I want to do a different spin on a game review series. And I want to be a little bit different from other game reviewers. Instead of reviewing games as like short form videos, I want to do reviews of games from, I want to do games in this kind of format that I'm doing right now, where it's a game where it's like an hour to an hour and 15-minute long live stream showcasing the game and basically talking about the game here. Now, I'm gonna warn you guys, with American Truck Sim, there's not much negativity to talk about. American Truck Sim, like Train Sim World, has for the longest time, American Truck Sim had performance issues. And they recently fixed that with their latest update with the asynchronous loading, and we'll talk about that when I do that episode as well. But for Train Sim World, it's good to see that Train Sim World is getting improvements with performance. Yeah, it's good to know that they're actively working on improving performance. For me, this game is like, we'll talk about like what kind of grade I would give the game here in a little bit, but right now, yeah, hold on, I gotta reply back to someone. Okay. Release those. Put that there. But yeah, it's just, this game is just such a good game. And I'm sure eventually they'll go through the other parts of the route, and they'll like the routes that still have a little bit of issues eventually. They'll go through those eventually, and they will try and resolve the performance issues on there. I think it's probably just some assets that are unoptimized, because it only happens in certain areas and not in others. So it shouldn't be that hard to fix. It all just comes down to whether or not Dovetail Games is going to actually get off their butts and actually fix it. Because one of the downsides to having a new Train Sim World game out every year is the Train Sim World games are every new version is basically the old version with some new features. Why can't they just release one Train Sim World game, release more, release all the routes for that one game at a charge, not have sales as often? They would still get probably the same amount of money as they would with as they would if they just kept releasing games that they did before. All right, I got to get down to 75 miles an hour. Got it. Nice. I just slammed on the brakes there. Did you guys see that? All right. I'm going to... Right, now I need to slow down to 60 miles an hour. And I have plenty of time to do that. There we go. We are cruising. And actually, I need to get... Oh, I need to keep my minimum application brakes. Yeah, here we go. This is exactly the route that I wanted to do from the start. Because you start at either this end where it's like the nice tunnel that I really like starting in this tunnel. It's just so cool going through the tunnels. And this is what I like about this game. Some of these routes are just so unique. Where like they're different from a lot of the other routes. Like for example, this route right here, you're going through a tunnel for the last little bit, or you're starting in this tunnel because the station is physically underground. You notice on the grade thing, the station is underground, so you're going underground effectively. Now here's where you're probably going to see some of the frame drops here, especially right at the end, with just how much there is. When we get to the station there, you're definitely going to see frame drops because of the fact that there's just a lot going on. I'm going to start slowing down here. I'm going to go down to 45 miles an hour because I'm not in a rush to get this done. But yeah, like I said, next episode of The Verdict, we're going to center on American Truck Simulator. And then probably for the other one, I might do a combined American Truck Sim and Euro Truck Sim 2 episode, doing a little bit of both. And because we're going to be hella early anyways, I'll slow down. I'll follow the access speed. Well, my phone just went off with the Insomniac notification about the lineup, Boo Seattle lineup dropping. And yeah, I already knew that like 2 hours ago. All right, so we got a little bit of a grade here, but nothing too wild. Like I said, I'm not worried about going so fast. We were going so fast there that we're going to be like hella early. We're going to be so early that I'm not even worried by the fact that we're going to be late. We're going to be probably at least 5 minutes early, which realistically, if you're 5 minutes early, then something's not right. But with how the game is, with how I like to play the game, I don't really care about the safety systems. I just like driving these trains and doing the routes. That's just how I like it. So yeah, we will certainly see how things go here. Okay, we got to slow down now. Okay, suppression. Boom. Perfect. Right. Let's get our cab light on. The cab light is exceedingly bright, but do I really care? No. All right. We'll turn off our cab light. We can see just fine. Yeah, we can see just fine right there. So yeah, I guess we'll start wrapping up. So, do I suggest you get this game? I would say yes, but I would recommend you get it while it's on sale. Because you're going to be saving a lot of money, and especially with the routes too, because like I said, I was looking at the Steam page earlier. There is a route that is $45. Yeah, there's a route that there's an add-on for this game that's $45 frickin' dollars. I would not suggest paying $45 for a DLC for this game. If you want to get this game, my recommendation, get it on sale, because this game goes on sale quite a bit. Like I said, it's been on sale since the Steam summer sale as well. I'm surprised it's been on sale for this long, just because of the fact that there's a lot going on with this game. And there's just a lot of DLCs, but it's a great game. If you want to get it, like I said, get it while it's on sale. You'll thank me later. Right, like I said, right now the game is on sale till the 28th for 80% off all 3 variants. My recommendation, get the special edition if you've never played the game before, because that will give you some routes to really get started with the game. And it's $24 right now. No big deal, right? No big deal about getting a game where it's 80% off. And you're getting a lot of content for $23, $24. It's a really fun game. There's a lot to do, especially if you have a lot of the routes. It's a really fun game, and I think you guys are gonna be happy if you've played like American Truck Sim, Euro Truck Sim 2, other simulator-based games like even SnowRunner with this like off-road simulator stuff. It's a lot of fun regardless. So if you guys are interested, check it out. I will add a link down in the description to the store page for this game as well. But yeah, look at that. No speeding penalties. That was great. It took us 50 minutes to do that. So yeah, with that said, that is going to do it for this episode of The Verdict. The Verdict on Train Sim World 5. Get it while it's on sale. You'll thank me later. You're going to be saving a lot of money. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of The Verdict. Next episode is going to be all about American Truck Sim, and maybe I'll throw in Euro Truck Sim 2 as well. I don't know if I will just yet, but yes, until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next live stream, whatever that may be.